After getting my donor door from the breakers, I was soon to realise that the wiring loom inside did not contain a connector for my electric mirrors. So consequently I'm having to take the wiring loom off of the old door and put this into this new door, and also as a matter of course replace the key switch barrel so they match the original car. So first of all we need to take off the front panel off the door. This is how we take the panel off. First of all we need to remove this, so just get my fingers in there, prise it out, and you'll see a connector on the back there. Now how I can do this one-handed I've got no idea, but let's have a go anyway. Press that in with the finger. Ooh. Hang on a second and pull. I'll just put this down for a second. Sorry about that. Right, now that bit's removed. Second thing I need to do is to take this little cover off, which just covers the door release. Right, so you put your screwdriver in there, on the side, your fingers, and pull the thing off. It doesn't really take much of an effort, although it helps if you know where the catches are. So, right. There we go. As again, I'm trying to do this and hold the camera at the same time, which is a little bit awkward. So you can see that goes into the base here, and I'm just pulling that off. Alright, now once that covers off, you can then see two screws in the door, which is one there and one down there, and it's probably easier if you remove those, so I'm just about to remove those. Sorry if this doesn't look very professional, it's because I'm not a car mechanic, but I'll put that in there for a minute and take out the other one. Right, put that one in there. Right, next we need to pull this door cover out. So if I look at a distance somewhere along here, there should be something to pull. I think it's this side, or is it there? There's a little groove in the bottom. I can just about feel the groove under the speaker, and if I just pull it out, oops, there we go, you hear that? That's released it. If you go all the way around, there's almost studs, I think, that just pop into the main door panel, and then you need to lift this up and out, and I'm going to have to put the phone down for this, but basically I'll still grab this handle just about and lift and wiggle, lift this side. Yeah, if you can imagine the top of the door sort of a bit like that, so it hooks in over the top of the metal, so that's why I need to lift it, and I'm going to have to put the camera down while I do this. Right, there we go. That's what the door looks like with the cover off, and I have got a nightmare of a job because I've now got to take this wiring loom out and replace it with the original one. So here it goes. Now you can see the harness come out of the side of the door there, and it goes into the main bodywork of the car. Now in a moment I need to unprise that and then pull out this, and on the other side of that is two connectors, and I need to then unplug those two connectors as a start. I also need to peel off this protective coating, or one of these weather shields I think they're called, so I can actually see everything underneath and get to all the cables. And this is going to be a because you can see where all the clips are. There's so many different clips holding this cable in that I've got to kind of track them all down and unplug them one at a time, and then reroute them in the right place. Also, there's a separate connector that goes onto the back of this speaker, so wish me luck. I'm not doing this just for YouTube, I'm doing it for my benefit. So if I video it and I make a mistake and I can't remember where the cables are, I shall just play this back again and find out where all the cables go. So that is why I'm doing this. Because it is quite complicated. What is this stuff? It's like putty stuff. Oh, jeez, it's like chewing gum. Ugh. Right, well at least it's reusable, I think. Yeah, I don't think I need to take all of it off, because some of these have got screws holding the rest of it on. I don't really want to take those off if I can possibly help it. So here goes. I shall now take this connector out of here and unplug it for starters. Right, this is what it looks like after I pulled all the cables out. Those connectors were buried quite deep inside that hole, so it took a little bit of work to prise them out. But now they are out, hopefully I can just push this part down and pull them out. That's one. And there is the other. And I'm going to have to put this camera down. Right, with that unclipped, as you can see, I've pulled this cable through, so it's now hanging down. Right, when it goes into the sides here, there is one clip on the inside holding it there, and there is one clip holding the cable here. And they're kind of routed differently. I think there's two cables in there maybe, so you have to be careful where they go. But this main cable here, you can see obviously all the little clips in there. The first job I need to do is to unclip some of these and remove these connectors. Right, there's one connector here, so you can just see that little tiny black edge here. Press that in and pull. That's one out. That's it. Right, I need to take that out. So if I squeeze that in, push it. That's it. That's the. Now this is the connector for the door lock. So on the back of the door lock there is a little looks like a potentiometer or something on the back of the key switch, and I need to disconnect this. So if I push that down again, push that one down and pull again, trying to use one hand, which I think is impossible, so I'm gonna have to put the camera down. Right, that is now apart. One clip here. Right, now what's going on? There's another one there. Top. Okay. Good God. Another one here. Trying to push from the back. It's come out. Some hidden behind the weather shield. I'll do that one in a minute when I put the camera down. Right, after pulling this cable through here, the next thing I need to do before I can pull this loom all the way through the door is to disconnect it from the back of the speaker. So what I'm going to do is just take off this speaker cone here. Take off the speaker cone, and then on the back should be a connector, and I shall unplug it from there. Right, I've just removed the speaker cone from the front of this speaker from this housing using the 4 screws, taken that off, and you can just see a connector on the back of there, and the magnet is actually sticking this to the door, so if I pull the connector off it'll probably stay there. So I shall put the camera down while I pull that off there. If it's a bit reluctant to come off, then just put a little screwdriver in there and twist it and prise it off that way.